Read to you a text from 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And this chapter, Paul talks about marriage and singleness. And we know that Paul, for those who are married or wanting to get married, he encourages them to get married, especially in the context of trying to prevent sexual immorality, right? Or sex outside of marriage. And, it's better to get married than to burn with passion. But Paul also gives a suggestion for anyone who is single, and I like what he says here, because I think based on what I'm about to read, it can really give some insight for the single Christian. So 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 32 and 35, the Apostle Paul writes, "I want you to be free from anxieties. The unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how to please the Lord. But the married man is anxious about worldly things, how to please his wife, and his interests are divided. And the unmarried or betrothed woman is anxious about the things of the Lord, how to be holy in body and spirit. But the married woman is anxious about worldly things, how to please her husband. I say this for your own benefit, not to lay any restraint upon you, but to promote good order and to secure your undivided attention to the Lord." So clearly here Paul makes a distinction between the unmarried person and the married person, whereas the unmarried person, right, the single person, right, man or woman, they don't have to worry about being with their spouse. They don't have to worry about pleasing their spouse, in which their interests can be divided, whereas the single person is only worried about how they can grow in God, how they can serve God, the things of God, right? And that's just very key, because even though, yes, I do believe that, for example, if you are in a relationship with somebody who is a Christian, yes, you both can point. Ideally, yes, you should point each other to Christ, right? A relationship is meant to be complementary in that way. If you're with somebody who is not leading you towards Christ, and especially that you're both Christians, then I might have to reconsider that relationship. Also, if you're with somebody who is an unbeliever, whereas you're a believer, Paul also gives that suggestion as well, where he's like, if you're with that person, hey, you want to be able to witness to them and see if they ultimately come to the Lord. Otherwise, don't be with them. But when it comes to the single person, guess what? They don't have to worry about them. They don't have to worry about anyone except God. And I think that's very important, because at the end of the day, whether you are single, whether you are married, our main priority is God. And for the single person, I believe that they get to see that more. They don't, because again, they're not tied down to anything. It's good to be not tied down to things, because that's when you recognize the gift of singleness. And the fact that you get to serve God without any other objectives, any other obligations, that's a good thing. And I want to encourage you with that today, single Christian. There's no greater privilege to serve God. And not only that, you also recognize that God is enough for you.